December 20, 10:15 a.m. District Court, courtroom number 5.
Day 2 of court is in
help me with my
session.
desk.
All rise.
I suppose we should reconvene the trial of Solomon Starbuck or something?
Objection! Your Honor? Could you please come out from under your bench? There were no more bombs, I promise.
Oh, yes, my apologies. I'm still a little jumpy when it comes to trials involving bombs. I mean, first the courtroom exploded. And then Mr. 28 self-destructed.
I guess that's one way of describing what happened to Tanae.
Anyway, it seems that Mr. Justice was seriously wounded by Mr. Tenate's actions. So you, Mr. Wright, will be taking up the defense? Do you have an understanding of what has happened in the trial so far?
Yes, Your Honor. The defense is ready.
Very well. Is the prosecution also ready? I take it you'd like me to give the opening statement this time?
Looks like the judge has become a pretty good mind reader.
Well, he's certainly seen more than his fair share of colorful prosecutors. You could say he's something of a veteran of sorts.
Let's see. In the previous part of this trial, we learned that the victim, Clay Tarrant... Oh? Sorry, echo. Escaped from the launch pad 1 carrying the defendant Solomon Starbuck. There were explosions on the second floor of the Space Center and on the rocket itself. The two astronauts used the launch pad 1 corridor to reach the boarding lounge.
And?
How could the victim climb down the ladder if he was carrying the defendant? That was the mystery that needed to be solved. But Mr. Justice proved that the victim was killed in the boarding lounge. Prosecutor Blackwell, were you able to discover any new facts related to this point?
Upon further investigation, we discovered an oxygen tank fragment in the lounge. Surprisingly, it would appear that Justice Dono's argument was indeed correct.
So that means the testimonies of the first two people on the scene are suspect.
There are two people who claim to be first on the scene. But can we truly trust their statements?
Let's see, the two people were Detective Candace Arm and Yuri Cosmos, right? You think that one of them might have given the false statement to the police?
Yes, it's certainly possible. We might have to do a little more digging. And just as our team was about to cross-examine Detective Arm, the courtroom bombing incident occurred, and the trial was put on hold.
That accursed fellow. He killed my witness. He killed Detective Arm.
He definitely put the kibosh on anyone asking about her what she saw.
Exactly. In other words, the question of who killed the victim in the boarding lounge has once again become the main focus of this trial.
It's obvious that Prosecutor Blackwell still thinks it was Mr. Starbuck. Fulbright said that Blackwell has a thing against the astronaut. Nevertheless, the defense argues there was a third person in the lounge And that's who killed the victim.
Objection!
Objection. To make such reckless claims in a courtroom takes a bold man or a stupid one. There was no third person in the boarding lounge. Or have you gone dotty already, old man?
Objection!
Objection! We'll see who's the dotard after I trounce you with my years of experience, little boy. Oh my god! In any case, Mr. Starbuck claims he saw someone leaving the lounge. Furthermore, a Space Center employee also saw a suspicious figure at the scene.
They saw a third person?
I see my sister has been running her mouth.
That's right. I almost forgot that Aura is Prosecutor Blackwell's sister.
No matter. She didn't see this mystery person's face clearly. Therefore, there is no evidence to indicate that this person was not, in fact, the defendant.
I guess the possibility that the figure was Mr. Starbuck is still there.
In brief, we need to determine if a third person was there or not. To this end, we should hear the testimony of one of the first people on the scene.
Director Cosmos, huh?
Very well. Bailiff, please bring the witness to the stand. Why, I believe I've seen you before in the newspapers.
Of course you have! Of course you have! For I am Yuri Cosmos, director of this Cosmos Space Center, which was of course named after me, Yuri Cosmos!
Thanks for that.
Don't you have anything you wish to ask me?
Is that a power star on your jacket?
Looks like he's all geared up to do some bragging.
7 years ago, I successfully launched the Hat One, and
Everyone already knows how brilliant you are. Even I am trying to hold back my tears at seeing such a great man standing before me. So, could you please proceed directly to your important testimony?
I see this fine young lad has a proper appreciation of greatness. Then allow me to begin my epical testimony that will be recorded in the annals of history.
That speech of Prosecutor Blackwell's just now. It sounded more like, to me, he was poking fun at the Director Cosmos.
That's probably for the best that it sailed right over the director's head.
Now then, Director Cosmos, the condensed version of your illustrious testimony, please.
the pause. Good pause there.
Please.
Witness testimony. What I saw at the scene.
Detective Arm and I rushed towards the boarding lounge together. We went via the control room and peeked in from there to see what was going on inside. We saw a figure standing in the middle of the lounge and Terran lying on the floor. I hate to say it, but I can only imagine the standing figure must have been Starbuck.
I see. So in your testimony, you claim you arrived on the scene after the two had escaped from the launch pad to the lounge. And just after the victim had been killed.
Oh, the horror! The humanity! But what I said is what I saw. And what I saw is what I said. Courageous action to take in the face of such terrifying explosions, wouldn't you say?
Justify the means.
To
by
save
all
my
means.
men, I went personally into the epicenter of danger,
I see what I mean.
risking my own life for theirs.
And I say what I mean.
I mean what I say.
Well, what do you know? It sounds like the director really cares about his men.
Yeah. Although it sounds more like he was scared and just had a peek from far away.
Is the defense ready to cross-examine the witness?
Yes, Your Honor. Director Cosmos' testimony is pretty vague. I'm gonna have to press him and draw out more information before I do anything else. Cross-examination. What I saw at the scene. And since the game gave me a nice little clear, obvious indicator, it's time for
We've
you,
already
Detective
determined
Cosmos.
as well.
Oh, go ahead.
We've already determined as well that from all prior evidence, it could not possibly have been Terran on the floor.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Thank you for bringing that up.
Because Starbuck was unconscious.
Because Starbuck was unconscious, yeah. Okay, so actually, well, the game clearly wants us to do pressing here. Figure standing in the middle of a lounge and Terran lying on the floor, which is, yeah, as Brant said, is kind of incorrect, but I think the game will probably want us to press first, so we'll start from statement 1. It's time for you, Cosmos, to hold it! Where are you coming from?
The 6th floor. We were making sure any stragglers. We were making sure any stragglers made their way to the 4th floor. It was then we heard about Starbuck and Terran, and hurried to the third floor lounge. On my galactic scooter here, of course.
Why do you keep calling it galactic? Does it have something to do with space?
Of course! It's specifically designed to be used on galactic battleships.
I see. Then I take it works in 0G2?
Sadly, no. With the current state of technology as it is, I'm afraid it would just float about and be galactically useless.
Well, that's a galactic bummer.
I see. So you rushed to the boarding lounge on your space-age pogo stick. And when you got to the scene, what did you see?
That was very useful information that we pressed for Phoenix, thank you. Fucking hell.
I'm happy to answer.
We went to the control room and peeked from there to see what was going on inside. Hold it! Hold it! Let's see. According to this diagram, you didn't have to go through the control room to get to boarding lounge 1. It looks like you could have gone there from the southern corridor as well.
Yes, but in her haste, Detective Arm rushed ahead of me towards the control room. All I could do was merely follow behind her.
I see.
So we peeked into the boarding lounge from the control room door and...
We saw a figure lying in the middle of the lounge, and Terran was lying on the floor. Hold it! So you couldn't see who that figure was clearly and what they were doing.
Sadly, the only thing I could tell was that it was a person standing motionless.
The defendant, no doubt, staring aghast at his deed. What other explanation is there?
I'm so close, but without evidence, I can't prove that person's the third party.
I don't relish in this. And
I hate to say it, but I can only imagine this figure standing there must have been Starbuck. Hold it! Aura Blackwell also saw a suspicious figure in the lounge, but she gave the statement that it was too dark to see the person's face clearly. Did you see this figure's face clearly?
no, not clearly. The lighter they were holding illuminated the area around their feet at the time. But other than that, I could see little else. That's why I could see Terran, but I couldn't see who the other person was.
Okay. So, for all you know, it might not have been Mr. Starbuck. Isn't that correct?
I would like to believe that. Starbuck isn't the type of man who's capable of murder.
Objection!
Objection. When the witness entered the boarding lounge, there was no third person there. Isn't that correct, Great Space Center Director?
Yes, that's right. Only Starbuck and Terran were there by that time. After we picked in, the lounge suddenly went dark, and the figure vanished.
You mean they disappeared? That's odd.
Objection!
Objection. The reason the figure appeared to vanish is because it was the defendant. When the witnesses weren't looking, he fell to the floor and feigned unconsciousness.
Hold it!
Hold it! Hold on. Director Cosmos, did you ever take your eyes off the scene?
Just for a brief instant. About as long as it takes for a shooting star to go by.
If you took your eyes off the scene, then the third person could have escaped during that time.
But what escape route could this person have used?
The direction opposite the control room, the southern door, to the elevators. Like this, there is no security lock on this door, so it would have been possible to escape that way.
Objection!
Objection. All things are possible, right, Donna? The real question is, do you have any proof?
Well,
If we're just talking possibilities, we could each profess whatever we'd like. An inmate who used to be a university professor and a lunar researcher used to say that there is a kingdom of little green men who used to live under the surface of the moon.
as long as they don't punish us in the name of said moon for what we've done to it.
But I say, where's your proof that this quaint kingdom exists?
He's calling your theory a work of fiction, boss.
And he's right. I don't have any proof yet. Still, the southern door was a possible escape route. I better make a mental note of that. Like that. Director Cosmos, may I ask you a question?
Yes?
Why did you look away from the boarding lounge?
There's actually another tale of bravery behind the answer to that. It was when Detective Arm saw the figure and raised her gun. Being a great humanitarian and protector of mankind, I tried to stop her.
What? You're saying Detective Arm raised her gun as soon as she saw the figure?
I imagine her instincts as a detective told me they were the killer.
I don't know about that. And were you able to prevent Detective Arm from firing her gun?
I'm afraid I was too late. I was unable to stop her. She identified herself clearly, and then she fired 2 warning shots at the shadowy figure.
Okay. Interesting.
This information about Detective Arm's actions sounds critically important. Please add it to your testimony.
Jeez, it just sounds so brutal. It's like behind him, like right behind him with the gravel, just like, please add it to the testimony.
I'm going to bonk you on the head.
Detective Arm. Oh, sorry, go on.
Detective Arm fired 2 warning shots at the figure.
Single bullet hole was found in the warding lounge. The bullet itself is missing.
Well, it's a single bullet hole,
Yeah,
isn't it?
single.
There'd be more than one, wouldn't there, if there was 2?
We'll find out more information first.
Discovered. Yeah, we will press. I'm just having a look real quick. Discovered along the gutter that runs along the south wall of the boarding lounge. It was fired from a 10 caliber handgun.
Because logically, there are 2 things with that one bullet hole. First of all, if there's only one found, and according to Apollo, it came from a regular standard handgun, and the bullet was found inside the room, that means it was shot from outside that window.
Oh. Right. Interesting, yeah, okay.
So we need to know why there's a bullet in the room, and apparently a bullet hole that leads out of the room.
Because the bullet is a mile away from the actual bullet hole.
A bullet that went through that window easily could have bounced.
Remember,
from
it's not a
whatever it hit and
window.
into the
It's
thing.
a TV screen.
Oh, okay.
It's a screen and a window.
Yeah,
Were they not saying?
Yeah, it was, because it had the, like, Loch Ness Monster thing going on, and then we turned it off, didn't we? And that's how we saw
And also,
the bullet.
apparently, things saw someone through it.
Yes.
Oh, that was a mini window next to it.
Yeah, it was. Yes, like you said, I'll press this one for more information. Hold it! And neither of these 2 shots hit the culprit?
That is correct. The detective appears to have missed on purpose.
But did she really? There's something about that bothers me. So, Detective Arm fired 2 warning shots, didn't she? That's the first time that info has come out. Wonder if I can find any inconsistencies. So yeah, I guess it probably is that. I think potentially Brant's point about the outside might come up later, possibly. Not sure.
I mean, it also depends on how it would bounce, but the point 10 caliber is non-standard.
Right. Which
It's an awkward caliber for a handgun to have.
Which could imply that if
That
2
was
shots
mentioned
were
at the
done,
time.
one shot was from one handgun, and there potentially is a second in play if it was potentially shot from the outside, which doesn't frame aura very well. Okay, I think presenting bullet hole makes sense because the word single is in there. I think that's what the game is looking for. So I'm going to try that. Okay?
Yeah.
Here we go.
I'm in agreement, yeah.
Objection! Are you sure you were really paying attention to what Detective Arm was doing? Whoa, oh my god.
You doubt my words? Words that will someday be written down in history books?
Somehow, I don't think that those exact words can offer a raised objection. Thank you, Charlie, for that sub. I do appreciate it. Because right now, I've got the evidence, and I'm taking this inconsistency down.
Been too long. Gonna have to watch all these VODs.
will ever be... Let me read that again. Somehow, I don't think that those exact words will ever be written down in any history books.
Mr. Wright, could you please explain yourself so that we can all understand?
You say that Detective Arm fired 2 warning shots, and yet only 1 bullet hole was ever found at the scene.
What?
Only 1 bullet hole means that the gun was only fired once. And yet Detective Cosmos is saying Detective Arm fired 2 shots. No editor would allow such a glaring contradiction into a history book.
Objection!
Objection! Unfortunately for you, the witness's words are true. We confirm that 2 shots were fired from Detective Arm's gun.
Objection!
Objection! But there was only 1 bullet hole at the scene. Where did the other bullet hole vanish to? Ah! Bird!
You should know the answer to that already.
I should?
During the previous trial, a certain oxygen tank was presented as evidence.
Ah!
We've already discussed that it was ruptured in the lounge, have we not?
Yep.
Well, it appears that the thing that ruptured was a bullet. A bullet that was found near the tank, to be precise. This bullet was fired from a .38 caliber gun, same caliber as the detective's gun.
There we go. What? So read that. Go. Go.
Victim's oxygen tank was struck by a bullet.
The rifling marks also match up. There's no question that the bullet was fired from Detective Arm's gun.
Bullet from Arm's gun. The bullet found near the victim's oxygen tank. It was fired from a .38 caliber handgun.
Rifling marks. They're like a gun's fingerprints on the bullet, correct?
He's learned! He's learned! It took him like 5 games, but he's learned. Sorry.
And examining the rifling marks on the bullet could tell us the gun it was fired from?
One of the bullets the detective fired found its way into the holographic image display. The other came to a stop near the victim's oxygen tank. The evidence confirms the director's statement that the detective fired 2 shots.
My beautiful contradiction. Gone. Oh, gone.
So the bullet hole from a .38 caliber, huh? I'd better update the record.
Bullet hole updated. The only bullet hole found in the boarding lounge. It was made by a bullet fired by a .38 caliber gun.
Very good. Now we know the fate of both of the shots Detective Arm fired. Mr. Wright, does that clear up all of your questions?
Detective Arm fired 2 warning shots. One hit the holographic display, and the other hit the oxygen tank. Does that really clear up everything about what happened in the scene? Because I certainly think it doesn't. No, Your Honor, it doesn't. Detective Arm fired 2 warning shots from a .38 caliber gun. .38. My apologies, but that doesn't explain the existence of a certain piece of evidence found at the scene. A piece that points to the existence of a third person.
Oh.
Very well, but it won't do to keep us waiting, Mr. Wright. What piece of evidence suggests the possibility of a third person at the scene?
It's what Brown was saying. Different
Ba ba ba
calibers.
da!
Take that!
And what is this metal pellet supposed to be, even though I've just seen rifling marks on one?
Just a little something of great importance that we found at the crime scene, Your Honor.
You found it where?
Oh, in a floor gutter at the crime scene. Looks like the police and prosecution both missed it. Furthermore, this is a .10 caliber bullet, making it much smaller than the one of Detective Arm's .38 calibers.
Then that means...
Exactly. One more person must have been there in the lounge. A third person who had a gun that could have fired .10 caliber bullets. And, if that's true, it explains why Detective Arm fired warning shots. This third person fired at Detective Arm and Director Cosmos with their gun. And in return, the detective fired her warning shots. Isn't that how it really went down? Director Cosmos?
It looks like you've deducted my miraculous tale of survival.
Oh my god.
Yes, you're absolutely correct. The mystery person fired upon us.
What's this now?
What? You never breathed a word of any of this to me before.
Well, all great men have a secret or two, don't you know?
What?
Foolish old geezer.
So, Director Cosmos really has been hiding the presence of a third person all along. Director Cosmos, I want you to testify to the court about what you really saw.
You may be a very great man, but in my courtroom you're just another witness. You won't receive special treatment here. Now, please give accurate testimony.
That is an insane thing to miss.
Witness testimony. What I really saw at the scene.
It's good.
Detective Arm and I rushed to the control room together. In the lounge, we saw a figure standing in the middle of the room and Terran on the floor. We were still in the control room to the east when the figure fired at us.
Given that there was no third person in the lounge when the witness entered it, does this mean the person who fired the gun had to have been a defendant?
Not necessarily. It's still possible that it was someone else. Most likely, as soon as Detective Arm and Director Cosmos discovered this person, they escaped through the southern door, the one that didn't have a security lock.
Objection!
Objection! Double-edged swords are a tricky lot. Mishandle one, and it is you who is cut down.
Huh?
Your reasoning could apply if Spaceboy were the killer as well. Think about it. After being discovered, he could have fired the .10 caliber handgun. Detective Arm would have responded by firing 2 warning shots. All he had to do was feign unconsciousness to invent the possibility of a third person.
Objection!
Objection! But Mr. Starbuck didn't have a gun in his possession when he was found by the police. Nor has a gun been found at the crime scene. Its absence can only be explained if there was a third party who took it with them.
Objection!
Objection! Recall the existence of a trash chute in the boarding lounge.
Oh,
The
shit.
defendant could have simply thrown the gun down there.
Objection!
Objection! but you can't deny the possibility of a third person leaving with the weapon.
Objection!
Objection. It's up to you to prove that possibility. And I trust you haven't forgotten my little piece of decisive evidence.
What evidence?
Why,
Oh,
the
God.
detonator switch that was found in Mr. Starbuck's pocket, naturally. The most compelling evidence of all that tells us he is the culprit.
Ah! I did forget all about that.
Look, your baldness. How deliciously obvious it is that they lack the evidence to rival mine.
Wow, he sliced our third person theory to ribbons and served it to us just like that.
Yes, well, I have a question of my own, actually. That bullet that the mysterious figure shot, what did it hit exactly?
It hit me.
So does that mean that you're a ghost?
Oh,
I was
damn.
wondering when you would realize it, your baldness.
Oh.
Director Cosmos is an authentic, bona fide ghost. He can even pass through walls.
What is this bit?
Objection! Prosecutor Blackwell, shame on you for teasing the nice old gentleman.
Your baldness, it was all in jest. Please show yourself again.
Are you sure? In that case, how did you manage to survive being shot, Director Cosmos?
Do you see this star on my chest? I was wondering. I activated invincibility.
I never truly thought I would have to use it.
Ah, and then Detective Arm shot, and I pressed on my chest. That is how I heroically stopped the bullet.
I also had a mega mushroom that made me really big.
So silly.
Okay.
Oh, it's good.
And
There
then
we
I
go.
swiped down the attack helicopter.
Oh shit. It was a miracle! A miracle befitting a great history-making figure such as myself. The bullet hit my glorious Medal of Honor, whereby it ricocheted, thus saving my life.
What?
Insert
Is that
screen.
more
You mean
unbelievable
was it your
than the previous
star?
one we said? I'll let you decide.
Insert for any screen shake here. That's unbelievable.
I have to check this out. Oh, wow. Look at that. There's one extra Yaxa star.
The odds are that literally astronomical. I guess it really was a miracle.
It's the beginning to like the Cosmos is watching out for the Director Cosmos.
But why did you conceal this information, Director Cosmos?
A great man such as myself has to hide things on occasion, no matter how much it hurts.
What?
It is the plight of the truly great. It may be hard for this generation to understand.
This guy, holy shit.
I don't know, but it sounds fishy to me. What else is he hiding?
Let's just cross-examine him and see what we can find out.
Now then, Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, please.
Cross-examination. What I really saw at the scene. Okay. This fucking guy. I'm going to hide it so I seem like a big dick G. Like that's literally what he's
I
doing.
love a dramatic reveal.
In the lounge, I saw a figure standing in the middle of the room and Terran on the floor. We were still in the control room to the east when the figure fired at us. Again, a bit more pressing, because that's like 3 statements. Hold it! We already heard about that part. Do you have any new information?
Well, let me see. If you have an hour
Oh,
or
God.
2, I could tell you all about the Hat One miracle.
Hold it! Hold it! We already know about that too. Tell us about something related to this incident.
I see. You want to know about incidents? Well then, let me tell you about
Oh god.
the many incidents that made me the man I am today.
Oh god.
Yes, if you have the time, I will tell you all about the upbringing of this great man.
It's fucking third person speaking. Hold it! Ugh! You told us about that already as well. What we need now is your testimony.
Did I really already tell you all about my upbringing? I don't recall doing so.
Director Cosmos, perhaps you could save your boastful tales for later.
If I must. Well, we peeked in through the control room door and...
Found out nothing. But in this testimony, maybe. Just if you hold it! But it was so dark. You couldn't see this figure's face. Isn't that right?
Yes. The room was as deep and dark as outer space itself.
As deep?
Deep. Speaking of outer space, during the Hat 1
Oh
launch
my God.
7 years ago,
Hold it! Oh!
If it's about that Hat One miracle again, you can sod off and tell it to a stray mutt.
Oh, thanks, prosecutor.
excellent idea. No reason why the animal world shouldn't hear of my greatness.
Jesus. Start to get on the aura
And
side.
so they shall. But first, your testimony. What happened next?
Fucking old man. No! Hold it! So, in other words, you were fired at while you were in the control room were at the control room door.
That is correct.
There's something not quite right about that. Director Cosmos, the bullet this person fired at you. Isn't that right?
Yes, it was a miracle. A miracle befitting a great, history-making figure such as myself. The bullet the figure fired hit me while I was in the control room. But as the Cosmos would have it, the bullet bounced off my glorious Medal of Honor.
In that case, the bullet should have wound up somewhere around the control room door.
Okay, so Director Cosmos was in the control room to the east.
And while he was there, he was shot by someone with a .10 caliber gun.
But the bullet hit his metal, so he was able to escape with his life. A very lucky man. No wonder people think he's great.
Hey, I'm pretty lucky myself. So if he's a great man, then I'm the king of all the cosmos! So it's definitely here. I'm assuming this is a door issue, right?
No.
No? Is
All
that
right.
how-
So, I wish we had a full map.
Only the prince.
Let's think ahead of ourselves a little bit, shall we?
Yeah.
They kind of summarized it at the end there. They were shot at the like northeast. That's where Detective Arm and Cosmos came from.
Yeah.
But the bullet was found in the south, as it says there in the evidence.
Yeah. Ah.
It was found
Yeah,
in
'cause it was
right
point-
at the southern entryway. Also,
Yes.
if they were looking through a window into the room, why would that glass not have been immediately shattered?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, because if it's
So
the
my
point-
thinking right now is that Director Cosmos had to have been in the room to be shot at.
Yeah, because if Detective Arm fires it, she fires it from the northeast. The bullet from the 10 caliber was found at the south. Hence, how the hell did it get there when it was fired northeast? Yeah, okay, I gotcha. Yeah, I mixed up my handguns for a second until I remembered that the bigger shot is from Detective Arm's gun. Right. Okay, so it's definitely this. Objection! Director Cosmos, I believe you are telling this great court a glorious lie.
A great man like me tell a lie? Have you ever heard of such a thing in all of history?
Sorry, what did you send up?
The bullet.
Yeah,
My
I thought so.
accusation is based on the positions of the people who were in the lounge. According to your testimony, you and Detective Arm were near the control room door. And the mystery figure was standing in the middle of the boarding lounge. If, as you say, the figure fired a gun at you from this position, then the bullet would have traveled in this direction. However, we found the .10 caliber bullet here.
Oh,
This trajectory and where the bullet was actually found contradict each other. Director Cosmos, were you really, where were you really when you were being shot at? Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the human merry-go-round.
Objection!
Objection! Don't tell me you've forgotten already. Didn't the witness himself just tell you the bullet hit his medal? Of this, there is no mistake.
Objection!
Objection! But in that case, the bullet should have been found near the east side of the room. Are you trying to say that you can explain this inconsistency?
Of course.
I didn't think so. What?
Oh, great Director Cosmos.
Yes? Is there something you'd like me to expound upon?
You were, in fact, not in the control room to the east, were you? You were looking into the lounge from the door to the south. Is that not right?
Oh!
What are you getting at?
Use your own brain. Your head must have some other uses than housing that bird's nest.
Bird's nest? Why does everyone pick on my hair?
Director Cosmos and the detective witnessed the scene from the southern door. The killer fired at them there, and that is why the bullet was found in the south.
Ah. That makes some sense, actually.
Also, the witness being at the southern door is rather favorable for the prosecution.
Huh? I got a bad feeling about this.
How about it, Director? If you don't tell the truth this time,
Yikes! His handcuffs.
you will become but rust upon my sword. I relish the chance to cut down a great man.
All right, I'll tell the truth. Just put your sword away. You are correct. I, the great Yuri Cosmos, was looking into the room from the southern door.
Oh my god. What?! That's the complete opposite of all the testimony he's given so far!
And now you have lost your possibility that a third person was in the room.
I have? How?
The director and the detective were near the southern door, meaning the killer couldn't have escaped through there. The western door required print recognition. The corridor beyond was filled with smoke. The only escape route left was the eastern control room door. And the only way to get through there was with Director Cosmos' fingerprints. In short, there would be no escape for any third person had there been one.
My third person just disappeared, like in one of Trucy's magic tricks.
Order! Order in the court! Director Cosmos, why did you tell such an outrageous lie?
You were covering for the defendant, isn't that right?
Yes. It was all for the love of my men. If I said I was in the eastern control room, it would mean the culprit could have escaped through the southern door. It would have meant that there could have been a third person. All I wanted was to protect Starbuck.
Oh man.
I said I was in the control room to invent an escape route for the third person.
What a convoluted lie. Was he really covering for the defendant?
It looks like we've come to a conclusion. That the defense's argument, the possibility of a third person, has crumbled.
No!
It's over.
Yikes. I'm just about to hand down his verdict. Think Phoenix think. This is the perfect time to try and turn my thinking around. If a third person had no way of escaping the scene, then what if one of the people at the scene was this third person? Wait. What if the whole premise is all wrong? Director Cosmos said that he and the detective arm rushed to the scene together. But what if that premise isn't true? What if one of them reached the scene before the other one? And if that person entered the lounge, then they would have been the third person.
The defendant is the only one who could have killed the victim and shot at the director. There doesn't appear to be any room for argument against these claims. I will now render my verdict.
Hold! Objection! It's one of those. Please wait, Your Honor. There is still one possibility.
No, it had better be good, Mr. Wright.
There is one and only one person who could have escaped from the scene. And that person will be the first person who arrived at the scene. Then, upon entering the boarding lounge, the second person to arrive came via the southern door. That's why the first person fled from the room, using an escape route that was accessible only to them.
Very well. Let's hear more about this theory. Who is this one person who could have escaped from the boarding lounge?
So, we talked about fingerprints, right?
Yeah.
Is that what it was? Shit, I wish I could look at the other bits of evidence right now.
The only people that touched the handprint door were the defendant, the victim, and Cosmos.
The only people who touched the defendant are... Wait, say that again, sorry, I was saving.
The only people that touched the handprint scanner is the defendant, the victim, and Cosmos.
Yeah, so the only person that could have fled is Cosmos himself. And if he's fleeing from the eastern door, we realised that I believe he's the only person that can even get through there, because that was stated earlier. Correct?
We're saying the person that fled is the one that used the 10 caliber gun, and Cosmos was the one who was shot by the 10 caliber gun.
Yes.
We don't know that. We know that Cosmos was shot.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the knife was the murder weapon.
Yeah. Which is... Oh, yeah. Okay, again, I can't look at evidence right now.
We don't know specifically what caliber of gun Cosmos was shot by.
No. No.
At this point, we're only talking about the ability of escaping.
Right. The only person who can get through that door is Yuri, so I'm gonna go with that. If I'm wrong, then I'm wrong. Take that!
What? But that's... Mr. Ryder, what are you claiming here?
Of all the people who were at the scene, only the witness could have escaped. The director is the only one with the authority to open the control room door, after all.
But that means...
Exactly. The true identity of the third person is our current witness. Director Yuri Cosmos!
What?
Order! Order in the court, I say! Mr. Wright, you will explain yourself in more detail.
I assert that Director Cosmos arrived at the scene before Detective Arm, and entered the boarding lounge alone. Detective Arm arrived after that, and, as you can see here, saw a suspicious figure, who was actually Director Cosmos standing in the lounge. And that's why she fired those 2 warning shots.
I've been hit. I've been hit on the starboard side.
Captain Wright, it's a direct hit on the enemy ship, sir. A magnificent shot.
Warning shots fired from the enemy ship. Prepare to intercept.
Cosmos! You have told a lie in this court once again!
I've been hit. I've been hit on the port side. The enemy has called in reinforcements.
Earth to Cosmos, Control Center, requesting permission that we ask you to return to reality.
But my ship will not go down to anything less than the ultimate weapon of evidence.
Objection! But I do have evidence. In fact, you could say that your battleship bears its scar. If Director Cosmos is the third person or a Blackwell Saw, this third person fired at Detective Arm and Director Cosmos with her gun. And in return, the detective fired her warning shots. Isn't it how it really went down, Director Cosmos?
it looks like you've deduced my miraculous tale of survival. Yes, you are absolutely correct. The mystery person fired upon us.
Director Cosmos must have been the one who fired the .10 caliber gun. When Detective Arm discovered him in the lounge, it only makes sense that he would turn and he would have turned and shot at her. Therefore, the evidence on the director's body is of a different kind of relevance than before. Once we compare it against another piece of evidence, the mark that you received from the third party will be all the proof we need to prove that you were the one there in the lounge.
Brace for another impact.
Comparison against this piece of evidence will prove that you were the one in the lounge. Fuck. Damn it, I was listening to so much. I wasn't super ready. Fuck.
Need help?
Yeah, help me. Just too busy reading.
He got shot at. But how do we know which gun shot at him?
That.
Why do we have
No.
Arm's bullet?
It was found near the oxygen tank. It was fired. It was fired from a 30. So it's that.
How can we measure?
From the marks.
The size?
Oh well, or the size of the actual shot itself. Okay. Yeah, I'm overthinking it again. Take that! The .38 caliber bullet found on the floor at the scene didn't hit the oxygen tank. It hit Director Cosmos' medal. If we have that ricochet mark on the medal analyzed, I'm sure that the caliber will match up. And if that mark proves to be from a .38 caliber bullet, then it proves that you are the third person we've been looking for.
Oh, the brigade! Losing altitude! All hands abandon ship!
God, if Arm shot at him and also the screen, she was a terrible fucking shot.
Well, it was meant to be warning shots, right? At least one of them.
Yeah.
If that's true, then what about the bullet that hit the oxygen tank?
It was the .10 caliber bullet. In other words, it was the bullet fired by Yuri Cosmos. Isn't that right, Director?
No! You've got it all wrong! What? The engines have started again? It's a miracle! I'm not going down yet!
Witness, stop this at once and confess to the truth!
Did you slap him? I heard a slap.
The truth.
If you don't want the history books to say that a great man was a great liar. Ooh.
Then accept your fate and tell the truth.
Cool.
Are you giving me orders? Me, the great director of the Cosmos Space Center? Oh! But the cosmos revolves around me!
Oh, the zoom out! The zoom out!
Oh, someone get me off this thing!
Order! Order in the court! And will someone please stop the witness from spinning?
I love the zoom out. That's great.
Phew! Thank goodness we were able to stop him from spinning off the face of the earth.
While he was twirling, I took the liberty of running an analysis on the mark on the medal. It was made by a .38 caliber bullet, matching it with the size of Detective Arm's firearm.
No!
Are you ready to confess the truth, witness?
No, you've got it all wrong. This is just a misunderstanding.
Is he going to start piling on more lies?
It looks like it. But no matter how many lies he tells, I'll just expose them, one by one. I'll make that big liar tell the truth.